this is what all the noise was about. This is the device that I made to hit a key on your keyboard, which is set up with Windows keys to high elk while you're splashing to give you the maximum XP AFK. Now in this video I'll show you how I do it. If you like what you see, please consider on subscribing. I make videos whenever I can. Now, for this build, we're not going to use batteries. We're going to be powered by USB, because you have your computer right next to you. You might as well use the USB, so you don't have to worry about replacing batteries. So we cut it off and we split the wires. Now here is the piece. This is a T-Rex. It's from one of my kids' toys that broke, and we're going to use it to push the keys. So as you can see, it moves freely, and we're going to test it to make sure it works. So we'll get this little connector block here. This is just a temporary to see if it works. And we undo these screws. And we put the wires in, screw the screws down, which pinches it into place. Make sure they're nice and tight. Then obviously connect the wires from the motor on the other side, screw them down to pinch the wire so it's got a nice connection, and the power from the USB can flow nicely. Now to test it, plug it in the USB.
It's alive!
And it works. So no batteries required. You don't have to keep changing batteries, worrying about it. And as you can see, it works. And there it is, tapping a key. Right, so now we know that works. Now this is a speed controller, what I'm going to put on it as well, so make it go faster and slower, and it actually turns it on and off too. So on the back you can see there's, at the bottom, there's motor, positive and negative, and DC, which is direct current, positive and negative. So I can speed it up. We start off with a piece of hardboard. It's about 4mm thick, and I'm going to measure out about 11 inches. And these are going to be the feet. It's a sort of housing to hold the T-Rex. So there's another 11-inch piece. And I'm going to do just a 6-inch piece in between. This stuff's pretty easy to cut and very lightweight, that's why I chose it. Okay, it snaps off fairly easily. And now we take off that burr, make it easier to glue together. Now it's all deburred and we've got our 3 pieces. So we're going to have one up right like this, one in the middle, and another one up right like that. And the leg is going to be on that side. So we need to glue it with a nice bit of hot melt gun. Very gooey. So I've glued it down and I'm going to just reinforce that glue by gluing up both sides. It doesn't have to be pretty. Now it's solid, we're going to glue it on the other side. Now we want to get it equal on the other piece, so the legs are as level as we can. So if we measure it, we can work out where we're going to put the glue. So a nice straight line if you can. Reinforce it a bit with some glue. Now it's gone off, we're going to work out where it's going to sit. And there is a piece on the motor, this piece, that sticks up. It goes round when the leg goes round. So we're going to have to drill a hole in it so it can move freely. There we go. Now I'm drilling another hole to put the wires through from the motor. And now this hole that I'm going to drill is to put the switch, the speed controller. Alright, now it's time to glue this thing on. So we glue everywhere but the brown thing needs to move. And we stick it on and hold it. Takes a few seconds to grab. Yep, looks good to me. Alright, now I'm going to just test the position of the foot. There's no point carrying on with the build if it's slightly out of line. And as you can see, it is. It's not pushing the button down. So I think maybe adjust the angle by pushing my thumb on it. It's still got movement because it's still, the glue's still going off. See, look, now if I push it forwards at that angle, it hits it. See, it's pushing this key down. So I've repositioned it and I've reinforced the glue so it doesn't go anywhere. Now it's time to thread those 2 cables through that hole I made. Because now we know it works, we're going to put the speed controller on. There it is. So those wires are through now. Lovely. Now we'll get rid of this block, we don't need it now. So all the connections are going to be on the speed controller. Make sure that you put them in the right hose, so the power goes up on the DC in. Screw it in nice and secure. Alright, now to connect the motor. It's a bit tricky when you don't have much cable to play with. Loosen them off. The positive cables are normally the red ones. As I said, very fiddly. Okay, now I'm going to attach it through the hole I drilled earlier. So pull the switch off, push the end through the hole. And it came with a washer and a little nut. But the problem is the thread wasn't that long on the switch, so I had to get rid of the washer and just bolt it on, and there you go, there's the top. So it turns on, off, and it goes faster and slower. So I'm just going to glue the cable so it doesn't slip out when I pull it to connect it into the USB. Now let's try it. So I'm splashing at the minute. I've got to set up my mouse, turn it on. And there you go. So it's tapping this key on the keyboard instead of a mouse click. I've set it up that way through Windows keys. You can find a video if you look on YouTube how to do that. Okay, now I'm going to set a 30-minute timer and I'm going to let it go for half an hour. Now here's a side-by-side comparison. So here we are, setting it up for half an hour. Alright, 30 minutes. Right, attack rat. I'm going to turn this one on. I'm going to set him up. And there he is.
pause it because I'm dropping all my money. And bull. Let me just go. No. High Oak. That one. Get the money up. Go back to High Oak. Bit of a false start. But there you go.
So as you just saw, it was a bit of a false start because I had a full inventory, so the money I was making high oaking dropped to the floor, so I had to stop it and high oak an item and then carry it on. There was a few false starts in this half an hour. It sometimes went too fast and clicked the item twice, so the results at the end would have been a lot better, but this was the first trial run. I'm sure in the future, if I get maybe a better keyboard so it doesn't double click, because it was double clicking and ended up clicking on the item for a bit and not high oaking, or maybe I needed to slow it down a bit. Maybe I was a bit, you know, over ambitious with the speed, but all in all it performed really well, and you'll see that at the end of the video with the results of the XP, the casts, how many casts, and how much money I made off high oaking, because there is profit in this. So I will speed it up, and if you want to skip to the end with all those details, go to 25 minutes of this video.
And there's the time. There's the time.
So here's the starting XP, the end XP, so that's the difference. Remember, that was only half an hour, so 43,772 XP an hour with a lot of false starts, so you can get it a lot better than that. Now, these are the amount of high oaks we did, 244 and 522 splashes, and that was only half an hour, so that can be doubled. So we were high oaking mithril pickaxes, and the combined total with those and the gnats 672. And we're going to high oak a mithril pickaxe, and it high oaks for 780. So that's a difference of 108 coins, pure profit, every cast. So with all the XP you get an additional 52,704 GP an hour, pure profit, doing it this way. And you can of course buy the mithril pickaxes slightly cheaper, but you can only buy 40 at a time, so I get a few accounts to buy as many as I can. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and like I said before, please subscribe. I don't have that many, and I'm really looking forward to hitting the 200 mark. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.